Hello everyone. This morning, the moment I opened my eyes, before even taking a sip of water, I turned on my computer. And suddenly, a whole wave of videos about fixing old remote controls appeared. I couldn't help but smile a little. Even objects seem to have their own destiny. Sometimes they're repaired, sometimes they're forgotten in a drawer. Then I looked over at the remotes in my house and thought, well, these old fellows have been helping me for years, maybe it's time for another video. And that's why I'm here today, to see whether we can give an old remote control just a little more life. Let's take a look together. First, follow along with me. We're going to take apart the remote control piece by piece to check its condition. Remember to open it gently while keeping an eye on each section. Look for anything cracked, loose, or dusty. And just a small reminder, don't study it too deeply as if we're examining a museum artifact. You'll only waste time. A quick, sensible check is more than enough for what we need to do next. I've gone through almost everything and honestly, there's nothing seriously wrong. It's just that this remote has been working for years without any proper maintenance, so it's completely normal for it to act a little tired. Alright then, let's move on to something more important. Checking the two batteries. I'll use a voltage tester to see if they still have enough power left. Even a perfectly fine remote won't work if the batteries are weak. Alright, let's take a look. The number on the screen shows this battery is still strong, but the remote isn't working. So the other battery is most likely the culprit. Let's test the second one and see if it's the weak link. Numbers don't lie, and as you can see, the second battery is working just fine. So the only likely cause is the remote itself. After years of use, some parts inside may have worn out. Next, we're going to give this remote a little special care. The two most important areas are the circuit board and the rubber keypad, the parts that collect the most dust and grime over the years. I'm dipping a cotton swab into 90% alcohol and gently wiping each small corner. You'll notice the built-up residue slowly lifting away, almost like waking up an old friend who's been dozing for too long. Take your time, no rush. A few calm, careful strokes are all it takes to bring everything back to a clean, fresh state. So far I've cleaned the circuit board and the rubber keypad. Everything is looking fresh again. But there's still one more step before reassembling the remote, and it's just as important as cleaning. With this small jar of Vaseline in hand, most of you probably don't know it has another surprising use. I'm going to apply a thin layer over each rubber button and across the circuit board. It might sound unusual, but the reason is simple. Vaseline forms a protective film that helps the buttons last longer, reduces friction, and prevents them from drying out over time. Plus, when you press the buttons, this layer makes the feel smoother, not stiff or sticky. It's like a tiny lubricant, that keeps everything moving freely while still being safe for the electronics. Just a thin coat is enough. No need to overdo it so it protects without leaking or causing any mess on the other components. I probably haven't mentioned this yet, the circuit board is a bit special. When we apply a thin layer of Vaseline on its surface and leave it for about 3 to 5 minutes, it creates a temporary protective film that makes the contact points more responsive and helps reduce minor oxidation. Then, wipe off the excess with a tissue, leaving just a very thin layer, enough to protect without sticking or affecting other components. It's like giving the circuit a little vitamin boost, to help it run smoother while staying safe. Alright, everything is done. Now all that's left is to reassemble the remote completely. Press it once and it works instantly, literally. The remote is now back to life, buttons smooth and responsive, no more stiffness or squeaks. You can feel the difference immediately, as if the device has been revived. You'll probably feel joy, like meeting an old friend again. One who's been with you through movie nights, music sessions, and daily tasks. It's not just a gadget, but memories and routines we often overlook. Buying new isn't always the best solution. A little time and patience for familiar items rewards you with smooth performance, durability, and satisfaction. With just a few simple steps, this old remote is now reliable, responsive, and ready to serve you for many years. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next videos, where we'll keep turning forgotten items into something useful and delightful.